Hey, running friends. Welcome to the Wrinkled Runner podcast. I'm Sherry, the Wrinkled Runner. I'm over 50 and I love to run wherever I go, but Buffalo, New York is my home. If you are looking to start to run or you're an older runner, this podcast is especially for you, so subscribe now. I love to help people get running and keep running. For as long as there have been running workouts, there have been cool downs. Recently in the coaching and running science world, there has been a bit of a debate over whether a cool down is necessary or not. We'll go over some of the thought behind a cool down and what that generally is considered, and some of the studies that have come out regarding doing one or not. When I first started hearing about the debate, it was kind of funny to me that there was one, because as a coach, I routinely give clients a cool down, even if it's just half a mile or mile slow jog after runs. I recommend stretching and foam rolling afterwards as well. Because of the nature of the coaching that I do, those kinds of things are prescribed but not always followed depending on the client. But if I build a running cool down into a workout, at least I know that they're going to do that. I am always open to changing how I do things, however, and to do that, I need to know what the research is showing, which is why I do a lot of reading and continuing education. I'm always looking out for different certifications that I can get, just so that I'm more well-rounded and so that I know what's going on in the coaching and running. And I'm also a personal trainer, and the things that are going on with that, so that I can better serve my clients. My thoughts, though, when I first started hearing about this controversy over cool downs, was whether one does a formal cool down or not, your body will in fact cool down. So, I mean, it's not like if you don't run afterwards or if you don't do anything afterward, your body is still going to cool down. So at first, when I first started hearing it, I'm like, well, your body's doing it anyway, so why is there a debate whether, your body just doesn't keep running or keep, the heart rate up and all that. So I looked a little bit deeper into it as time went on. The reasons coaches have used cool downs have ranged from stopping blood pooling in the legs to bringing the heart rate down to facilitating a quicker recovery by causing the body to go from a catabolic state, which is the muscles breaking down, to an anabolic state where they're building back up. So part of training adaptations happen when we run on fatigued legs as well. So extending a run by another mile or more, depending on your workout, in a cool down, it gives you more mileage, which can translate to a lot of extra mileage over the course of a year or a season. And if you are running your cool down at a very, slow pace, RPE of a 2, 3, or if you do it by pace, doing it at a much slower pace than what you're doing your workout in, you're getting this extra mileage, but you're not beating yourself up for it. One of the studies that I've seen that has introduced the debate was done in 2018, and I'm going to link that to you in the show notes if you're interested in seeing the wider study and the more scientific things that went in it, and there's some tables and things like that you can look at. This study looked at the effectiveness of cool downs on injury prevention, which is a huge reason why we've always done them, adaptive response, and performance, among other things. And they were working from the knowledge or the belief that a cool down means more benefits to a runner than not doing them. And that's been the prevailing thought, and not questioned actually, for basically always, I think. The conclusions that we are looking at are condensed in the review that I read. But then I found an article written by, and I do not know how to pronounce, it's B-A-S, so I would say Bas van Horen, or Huren, but it's B-A-S-V-A-N H-O-O-R-E-N. And he is actually one of the people who did the study. And so that article is actually very interesting, and I'll link to that as well in the show notes. To highlight the conclusions, it was found that a cool down was ineffective for enhancing a workout done on the same day. So sometimes you might have heard of two-a-days or other kinds of workouts where you're running twice in one day. And a cool down that you did in the first run, it wasn't shown to be effective in helping anything for the second one, but there was some benefit for a next day performance. Interestingly, a cool down did not seem to prevent injuries. And, a lot of what we do as coaches is build in different things into workouts and training that is like injury prevention, so that our clients or our athletes are healthy and they can, keep running and keep training and doing all the things that we're asking of them to do and the goals that they set and things like that. And so, because injuries can be pretty prevalent in runners, the things that we incorporate into some of our training is for injury prevention. And cool downs is one of the things that we've just done so that we could prevent those injuries. But it's showing that it doesn't actually help injury prevention. In relation to that, there seems to be studies being done more and more that are actually showing that the things that we are saying to do for injury prevention are not actually preventing injuries or staving them off. So, for example, static stretching before a run, that has been shown to not prevent injuries. Now, the fact that a runner will get to a faster recovery of the cardio and respiratory system, which we've also always believed, that is still showing to be true. And as far as DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness, a warm-up has been shown to have a positive effect, so that, later on in the day, your muscles aren't as sore if you perform a warm-up before a run. But a cool down has not been shown to do that, which is very interesting to me, that after a run, when you're, doing your foam rolling or the static stretches that I recommend doing after a run, it has not been shown to prevent that delayed onset muscle soreness. So all that to say, keep doing those warm-ups, because that has been shown to do that. The study also nods at another study that showed that an active cool down, so a cool down that is intentional and done soon after a workout, has shown to lift lactate threshold after 4 weeks. Now, there's a whole science behind lactate threshold and what's going on, but the theory here is that the extra training volume is what's translating to the higher lactate threshold, not the cool down itself. So if you're interested in lactate threshold, I will put some resources in the show notes for you, so that you can dive a little bit deeper into what that is. We want our lactate threshold to be higher, but that's a whole nother topic. So back to the cool down. After the very few studies that have been done on this, some runners and even coaches have decided that the research is saying there is no benefit at all to a cool down, and we only do them because we always have. Now, personally, I think having whatever mileage accumulates due to a cool down is a good thing. Last week, I went over why sometimes we think that we need a rest day when actually we need a run day. And so, this kind of feeds into sometimes we actually do need a little bit more miles to get better at running. I think for my clients and myself, having a cool down built into the workout, does have the benefit of that lactate threshold lift. I also feel that, especially after a hard workout, having a mile or two of slow, easy running has a psychological benefit as well. The workout is done, yet you still get a few more miles, and that it feels easy and kind of is a finisher. For an easy run, okay, not building in a cool down is fine. If you're going out for 6 easy miles, to then drop back for another, whatever, half mile, 2 miles, whatever, at the end of that, probably isn't going to do anything except for extend the run and give you that mileage. So cool downs consist, in my world, of running at a slower pace, recovery pace, one where you're able to talk and hold a conversation. You can also incorporate after that foam rolling, static stretches. You can walk for your cool down. And for more information on static versus dynamic stretches, again, check out the show notes. And you also should get some hydration and fuel into your body, and consider that part of your cool down, or at least have that on your post-run checklist, so that it's more likely that you will do that. I know sometimes, you get home from the run, you're going to go take a shower, and, then you've got other things that you have to do. Sometimes it's because we're going off to work or whatever. And it can be who knows how long before you actually take a drink of water or you refuel your body after expending the calories for your workout. So if you consider some hydration and some fueling afterwards as part of your cool down, then that can be helpful in establishing that habit. So even though the studies are showing that some of the things that we have originally thought about cool downs aren't true, there's enough benefit in my mind that if you're my client, you are going to be doing a cool down. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you know another runner who could benefit from today's topic, go ahead and share it. Do you have any running questions? You can ask me. Email me at sherry@wrinkledrunner.com, and if I can't answer your question, I will do the research to find the answer and share it with you. The questions I get from listeners like you help me develop episodes, so please don't be shy. You can sign up for my once-a-month newsletter using the link provided so that you can have all the Wrinkled Runner resources from the past month all in one place. I also have opened up my virtual coaching in addition to coaching one-on-one with those in the Buffalo, New York area. So head to my coaching page on the Wrinkled Runner website, which I will, of course, link to, and check out how we may be able to work together. Until next Monday, thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the run.